Sheila Seppi, and you're watching us on the Conscious Awakening Network. Now, if you haven't already signed up to be on our mailing list, please do so at consciousawakeningnetwork.org, or catch our replays on Conscious Awakening Network channel on our YouTube. You can catch us live on Facebook, or even if your favorite downloadable podcast locations such as Spotify, Google, Android, and on our television platforms of Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, and Android. But you have to download the apps first. I had someone say, I cannot get on. I cannot get on. I'm like, we tried to work with them and come to find out they hadn't downloaded the app yet. They clicked it, but it didn't download. So please be sure to download that app first. I am so excited tonight because we have our longtime friend, Geraldine Orozco. Now, Geraldine is an epigenetic psychotherapist. She's a clinical hypnotherapist. She is a Qigong instructor, a medical pranic healer, and an intuitive life force cultivation master. She is certified as an NLP neuro-linguistics practitioner and is a mindfulness-based stress reduction therapist. Now, she has over 17 years experience in energy cultivation arts with a certificate in advanced medical pranic healing at the Institute for Inner Studies. Now, one evening in 2013, Geraldine experienced a full conscious interdimensional contact experience. And this experience resulted in the activation of her psychic abilities. And as a result, after several months of integrating and practices, Geraldine began to study and map the multidimensional body in detail. And in 2017, she began to receive downloads of information regarding the structure of the universe, the universal laws, and the nature of DNA in human biology as it pertains to the soul. So, Geraldine, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. It is always a pleasure to have you on.
Hi, everyone. What a gift to be here. Sheila, thank you so much for the invitation on such a powerful day, by the way.
Yes.
You're experiencing. It's an honor. Yes, thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I am super, super excited because, yes, this is the Lionsgate and it is so powerful. So I really invite people just to sit back and to open your hearts and your minds and just let all of this knowledge that Geraldine has just to be, sucked up by your DNA. So, Geraldine, I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Awesome. Well, wonderful. So let's talk about Lionsgate, I guess, since I wasn't sure what the format of today was going to be, actually, Sheila. So, but I can definitely share with you. I have tons of information to share with you for today.
Yeah. Whatever that you would like to share will be absolutely perfect, and it always is. So we have the same format. I'm just going to turn it over to you. Just let you share what comes that you want to bring forward to everyone.
Okay, fantastic. Well, earlier today I had a really deep dive class. I was doing a hypnotherapy for today so that people can reconnect with their higher self and channel in some clarity about their purpose and what's happening. And the reason why I chose that topic is because right now the Lionsgate is an excellent energy to help us with manifestation. And the reason why is because of the cosmic energies. And what are these portals? These portals are openings of energy, magnified openings of energy. So let me share a presentation. I'll share with you what I shared a little earlier today, some of the slides from earlier, so we can get clarity on what that looks like. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions that you have at any time. It'd be such a gift to answer your questions too. My mouse is acting funny. Let's see. Okay. There it is. All right. So today, Lionsgate. What are we talking about here today? We're talking about major portal openings that allow us to connect with higher states of consciousness. Why? Because of life force, because of energy. And what we are dealing with today is really a really powerful, the magnetic field of the earth is enhanced because of the amount of cosmic energy that is moving right now in this universe. And let's talk about how that energy is distributed and how the human can benefit from that. We're going to learn that and understand that by understanding how the multidimensional body is functioning. So when we have portals like today, when we have energy moving in the way that that is in such an expansive manner, remember that these are the way that energy has chosen to its pathway of movement is through a spiral form. And it's through the spiral form, which is the natural pathway that all of nature has kind of decided to follow in this universe, especially in the three-dimensional plane, because of the dualistic nature of energies that create this incredible toroidal format. So what happens in these cases is that this magnetic field that the earth is expanding and in charged with this life force energy, it provides openings. And because of these openings, the human has the ability to access this information. And what kind of information are we tuning into? We're tuning into essentially the DNA of the earth, which we know as the Akashic records. Okay, we know as the Akashic records. And essentially we can tune into that information in order to find clarity on what we're doing here. Now, how the human connects in the same way that the human has chakra systems in the body, all vortices, they're all portals, okay? Every vortex is a portal because it coils the energy in a way that speeds up, and it creates a very intentional and direct pathway for energy to move. So that's a portal. And that portal essentially is organizing. It's a self-organizing mechanism of life force that creates a magnetic pool. Now, depending on how the energy is moving in this vortex, depending on the frequency, depending on the intensity of the energy, this energy will either pull into a magnetic field that will magnetize, or it can also be stagnant, heavy, and very slow moving, okay? So the nature of the portal, which is something that is available to us today because of massive amounts of this cosmic energy being available to us, how do we use this information? Now, if you are completely disconnected from your body, if you've got a lot of pain, suffering, anxieties, a lot of traumas and strong emotions, there will be a disconnect because you, as this organic vessel in this planet Earth, not being able to pick up the heavy waves of frequencies that are available for humans, okay? And what happens is sometimes people get kind of sick, or they get, some people can fall ill with flus or just body aches and pains. And it's because we're not in resonance with the planet Earth, okay? We have to come into resonance. How do you open up these portals? By coming into resonance. And I'm going to explain that in just a moment. But essentially, the body becomes stagnant and heavy. And I want you to notice, and I put it in the chat, how many of you have had heavy, strong emotions over the past couple of weeks? And what were those emotions? And I always love to hear that because, these cosmic cycles that we move through as humans are always quite thematic. They're thematic and they're quite based on frequency. And of course, if we know and we understand the language of energy and frequency, we're talking about the language of emotion, because emotion is that a bioelectrical charge that is inputted into this network, okay? So the emotions that you're feeling are your co-creation. And of course, sorry, did someone say something? Yeah, so the emotions are the bioelectrical charge that is infusing into this network of co-creation. And so what really matters is the subconscious programs that you're running in the back end will define the kind of emotions that you're putting out. So this is relevant to today specifically. as being a day of openings. It's not just today. It's a 3-week period, really. We're just at the key numerical sequence, and numbers are the language of the universe. Math is the language of the universe, which allows an alignment. When there is alignment, there is an opening. Just in the same way that when your body, your chakras are in alignment, you open up to your higher faculties, you open up to your intuition, your vision, your higher knowledge. And this is what the point is of using this energy today to benefit, and to use this opening to clear the body from what doesn't align anymore. So what are we aligning to? The earth is a grid of energy, just like your physical body. Your physical body being a center of vortices, millions of vortices really, that are inside and outside of the body, that are interconnecting and intercommunicating. And the information that is passing in and out of the body is emotional data, energy data, frequencies that we give off and frequencies that we pick up. And we're actually picking up that information 24 hours a day, all the time. Well, most of our navigation is actually taking place in our dream state, when we are sleeping, when we are out of our body. So why that's important, and I want you to pay attention to your dreams, and also put in the chat, have you been having intense dreams, very clear dreams, dreams that provide information? And a lot of people are reporting dreams of people in the past, people that they've interacted with. I think this marks the closing of a 20 mark year cycle. Actually, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. We're going through a year cycle, and I can't remember the exact number. But we are ending a cycle in this year 8 that we are in right now, which is why today is 888. 2024 equates to the number 8. And 8 represents infinity. It represents karmic cycles. And for that energy of this year is to end those karmic cycles, because next year is the year number 9, which represents a new beginning. And that new beginning is essentially an influx of energy that will seed the next generation that we are just starting right now, because humanity is going through a major transformation, as all of you might know. But in what direction and what are we co-creating? That's the question. And we're going to find the answers to those questions by doing the important work that is needed to come up at this time because of these cosmic energies. You see, the body is healing as a result of this planet Earth. The planet Earth heals as a result of the healing of your body. And this Earth really needs you to come into your ascension to help heal this network of information. The more openings that organisms on this planet have, so me and you, the more we open ourselves to higher frequencies, the more the body of the Earth heals through us. So it's extremely important. So these networks of energy around the planet Earth actually are highlighted based on resonance. And remember that the planet Earth is one of the bodies of this solar system which are picking up information from the sun. The sun being the center of communication that picks up information from other universes, other solar systems that are our cousins energetically and by frequency through resonance. So many of us hold genetic data within us that is interdimensional, that comes from these other planetary systems. This is what we call starseed lineages and whatnot. So these ley lines on the Earth, these grids of energy on the planet, are also a self-organizing system based on frequency from lowest to highest. Okay, so the planet Earth, as you know, the chakra system of the Earth, these main energy centers of the Earth, it's the same as the human body. We have a root, sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye. Same thing on the planet Earth. They have main energy centers that are operating at these vibrational frequencies. Now, every single one of these centers of energy are centers of regeneration, centers of healing, centers of activation, because they are portals, right? It's a vortex, it's a chakra, it's a portal. And so these portals allow for information to be available based on the frequency of energy that is running in these areas. Now, why this is beautiful is that when we travel to these locations, remember that we experience activation. And what becomes activated? For most people, it's a memory. It's a memory of what you are, who you are, in more than just this dimensional plane. You begin to recognize yourself in other lifetimes, simultaneous lifetimes, which are available to you through these activations. Portals are a network of energy. And so when you go to a portal and you bring a lot of heavy, depressive energy, angry energy, you sometimes discharge some of this because the nature of the portal is to clear up because it's a vortex spinning. Okay. And sometimes that has to be cleaned up by other healers that come and they charge these portal areas. In other cases, sometimes when we are stagnant in our energy, our body becomes stagnant and ill. We go to these places, sometimes we become healed, sometimes illness becomes ignited. And some of you that have gone on excursions or traveled have experienced that before. Okay, so take a look at how you experience these portals, because these portals are not something that we have to travel to. Actually, these are things that we can actually connect internally. We can connect with the frequency of these locations and activate the information through us. The beauty of this time right now is that through this portal, the Lionsgate portal, which directly connects to Sirius, we are connecting to a series of history and information that each and every one of us, we all hold a seed of Sirius lineage within us. And that lineage is an activation and a recognition of ourselves as an origin of humanity here on this planet. And the beautiful thing that we are experiencing now is an opportunity for healing. One of the downfalls of the Sirius bloodlines were the lack of the trust in your ability to heal, the forgetfulness and the control of power and the abuse of power. So one thing that we're healing during this time is the abuse of our own life force, whether we misuse it, whether we use it correctly. And so we have to educate ourselves on what it means to embody radiant fields of energy that are co-creative rather than counter-creative. And all of that has to do with how we're holding our energy, either in expansive or contractive state. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But just as an invitation, I want you to notice, and please put it in the chat, don't be shy. I want you to notice what are the strongest emotions that have been coming up for you in the past couple of weeks. You might notice that others in this group also feeling that way. And what is missing or what is blocking your ability to feel joy, freedom, and love? And these three emotions might seem like very simple, common emotions, but in reality, what all of them have in common, to be able to embody these states of consciousness, is required profound amount of peace. Okay, and to cultivate peace, it's not such an easy thing. We have to come into harmony. The human has been trained through social engineering. We have been, through our family systems, through all of these ideas and filters of judgment and separation. We are so disconnected from what it really means to embody harmony and peace within us. So that is something that the human can recognize once it begins to surrender and connect back with nature in order to be aligned with the natural laws of this universe. The natural laws of this universe are essentially the kind of laws that are indisputable truths that interconnect all organisms. And that is really the direction that we're moving towards at this time right now. And what we're going to start seeing as we enter into period 9, which is starting next year, is essentially the building and the seeding of this new humanity in a state of existing in harmony. And that means unity consciousness. Rather than focusing on separation, looking at how things are separating. It's very important because it's very tricky at this time. Ideas about separation, concepts of judgment, concepts of being different, those kinds of concepts, we have to transcend them into a look at what it takes to reunify. And the reunification that we are doing is not something that we're controlling externally. It is an internal reunification of all the parts of us that want to continue to see the world as separate in some way, through some filter. So that is the alchemical marriage that we talk about, the marriage between the divine feminine and the masculine, the two dualistic energies of primordial creative life force that runs through you. Okay, and that is essentially when we are able to integrate that, now we can begin to, from there emerges the pure joy, the pure freedom. Love is actually freedom, the ability to love unconditionally and without attachment to any other thing external to you is actually one of the most powerful freedoms, and it's a unifying force. And many of us, we are not familiar with that because we have concepts of relationships, we have concepts of marriage, for example, we have concepts of this romantic idea about what love is, which is actually quite dualistic, quite separating, because it's based on the concept that in order to be whole again, and we have this profound yearning that we're born with to find another half or a partner, it's actually the yearning to reunify with source that we are seeking. So once we become aware of that and pull away from matrix programming about what love is, we can reunify once again with a source. And now you are connected to an infinite, abundant source of nourishment that the body needs in order to embody bliss state. So the bliss state is a biochemical, bioelectrical, architectural structure of the bioorganism. It is not simply an emotion. What do I mean by that? In order to embody a bliss state, the human body has to come in to harmony within itself. Just a second, let me just open this. I want to share with you something else here. In order for this body to be able to feel this bliss state, it has to be able to move through it, higher bands of frequency. Okay. So take a look at your body here. You have 7 main core chakras. Okay, the 7 main core chakras are the information that are holographic projections from your DNA. Okay, and so when we are unconscious of these chakras, and we have a lot of unresolved emotions that we are constantly repeating over and over again on a daily basis, what happens is that your filter, it becomes the energy that you are most running in your field. It could be survival, it could be feelings of disempowerment. And you will notice in your body as you train your intuitive vision, which is absolutely imperative that all of you do, that when you begin to balance this out, it's going to change your perception. The chakra system in the body is your filter of perception. Please understand, they are not just pretty colored wheels in the body. They are powerful centers of information that we have to learn how to master. Now, when a chakra is overactive, it is processing either the positive or negative element of that chakra. When a chakra is underactive, it is stagnant in the information of the chakra. So get familiar with the chakras, get familiar with the information, the frequencies, the emotions that run through these centers. Because as soon as we begin to disconnect from the chakras and the physical body, that's when we sever the cord of our source. Our source cord becomes very thin. It's never cut off, of course, otherwise we would die if we disconnect from our source cord. But we begin to thin that connection. And this is where people enter into confusion, frustration, fears, anxieties, feelings of loneliness, helplessness. Okay. All of those emotions are essentially the contracting energies. And what happens to a beautiful organism that begins to move in this state of being is that it becomes stagnant. Now, what does that look like? Now, remember, we talked about being a vortex. How are we a vortex? Wow, we are a vortex in so many powerful ways in the organism. The way that energy moves through the body, as it coils through the body, as it alternates through these energy centers based on how the energy centers are moving, the way that the geometry, the sacred geometry of the body is created and designed as a result directly of the harmony that we're holding in the body. And the vibrational frequency and alignment that we come into with the planet Earth, because the human heals when it aligns with the planet Earth and the frequency of the Earth. The human activates memory. Memory is one of the signs of initiation of the human when it comes into its highest state of consciousness. You recover memory when you start to activate and come into resonance with higher octaves, such as the galaxy, the cosmos, cosmic energy you bring through the body. Okay, that is a universal source of information that is in your DNA. And so we forget that and we disconnect from that. And how do you get that is through the internal reconnection only. That's the only way to get to that, is through the internal reconnection. There's nothing external that will reconnect you somehow. You must go from the inside because it's about frequency. And again, it's a filter of perception. So these beautiful coils of energy, here you can see the coil of energy, which is essentially what makes up your entire body, is essentially running through the information that aligns you with the greater toroidal field. Okay, so when we talk about activating DNA, when we talk about coming into our highest expression, we are talking about expanding your perception, expanding your vision from a myopic view of survival into a universal awareness. And it doesn't mean that your focus is on what's out there. It's what's in here, because through here you can see what is outside there. You can know, you know it, you feel it, you sense it. All of your, basic abilities of vision are activated. Now remember that the way that humanity works is very similar to these mycelium networks of these trees and fungi, networks of unison that are reconnected and communicating, intercommunicating. Okay, so what we're doing at this time, the invitation is to come into this reconnection by releasing the blockages inside of the body that hinder our ability to connect to these openings of information. So let's take a look at, what does that look like in the physical body, and what are we talking about? Your energy, your emotional energy and emotional frequency is your language. Whatever emotion you're running at right now is going to project into your reality. And the thing about cosmic energies like the ones that we're going through today, like with this Lionsgate, is that it becomes magnified, which is why I'm asking, what have you been feeling? Sandra says, frustration, impatience, anxious about timing. Is there any significance to the color and size of the portals on the world map? Not really, but not today, because actually that's an image that I actually channeled a few years ago about the portals on the earth, and the size of them represent the speed that they are running at. Okay, but yeah, today we can't have too much time to go into that, but intuitively, and there's also many images of the portals of the earth that are pretty similar to this, that will show you the frequency that they're running at. But in the same token, these are essentially the frequencies that we're talking about. Okay, and it has a lot to do with the location of the planet. It has a lot to do with the history that has taken place on those planets. It has a lot to do planets, countries. Okay, it has a lot to do with the information that has been running there, and you'll notice that different cultural groups, different countries, they have collective karmas that they experience together. Okay, there's such thing as a collective karma. That collective karma simply means cause and effect. And so some of these countries, your country of origin, depending on what their collective karma is with the programs and heavy traumatic traumas that are emerging from their the societal design and social engineering of that place, will speak to the limitations of co-creation that some of these countries are experiencing. And that's why some of these countries are in constant war as opposed to others. You'll notice it's always very specific areas of our world, and those are chakras, those are vortices of energy. They are ley lines that are either conducive to harmony or conducive to wars and suffering. And the shamans and the druids and all of these American Indians, for example, they were so connected to the earth that they used to dowse in order to find these energy runways. And they would put actually churches, by the way, because the church, caught on to this understanding pretty early on. This is, build grid works, cities based on this energy. The Vatican, for example, many of the older cities in Europe are kind of built around these energy networks systems. Okay, so we literally are on ley lines all the time underneath us. And usually the way water is running, remember, water coils, water is always moving in the form of a vortex, just the way your body is 98% water. Well, it fluctuates depending on if you're a woman or a man, the percentage exactly, but we are mostly water, and that water we are transmuting into the plasma state of energy form, which is what our body has the ability of moving through. And so let's talk about really quickly, how does that happen? Let's look at the heart being one of the most powerful transmutational engines of your body, because the heart is the largest magnetic field in your body. The heart, actually, if you unravel it, it's actually one large muscle that coils into a vortex. Okay, it is an actual vortex. It's not just like a pump that just pumps stuff. It is literally a vortex that is spinning, which is why it's the largest magnetic field in the body. Okay, it is the first to form in the body. And this magnetic field in the body is exact alignment of the universal energies of this universe. It moves in the form of an 8, which is the infinity, which is the spiral-like movement. It creates a toroidal field. Okay, so the heart is it completely, when you are experiencing heartbreak, deep, powerful sorrow, sadness, the body really begins to deconstruct. And I will say that we have noticed a rise in blood clots, heart attacks, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One of those reasons is that the nature of the number 8 year and the years that have, 7, 6, these years all have to do with clearing of the debris inside the heart in order to experience coherence. This is a cleansing time, guys. As we move into period 9, it's about unification. We cannot unify, we cannot cohere if our heart is ill, is sick, is stagnant, and not moving. So one of the first things I want to invite you to clear is your heart chakra, and we can do a little practice to clear that out today if we have some time. And I'd love to check, Sheila, how much time do we have today, by the way, if you...
We still have about 30 minutes.
Oh, awesome. Okay, good. So 30 minutes. So yeah, let's sneak that in. But I would love to show you for a moment, when this magnetic field in the body is stagnant, what happens is that the source cord becomes so thin that we cannot hear anything. We don't know anything. We cannot hear anything. This is exactly how your multidimensional body looks. It is spheres within spheres. And wherever you have the most stagnation, you have more tears and damage in the field. Damage is occurred in the multidimensional body when we have severe stagnation, denial, resistance of the flow and experiences of life. So to be able to open up these runways in the body, it's about profound acceptance. It's about integration. It's about reconnection with the self in order to activate your intuition for clear discernment of the things that are happening in your life. And what that does essentially is that it grows the energy body. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do the practice, and let's put all of this beautiful knowledge that we just acquired into the actual embodiment. We're going to be activating our Merkaba by redirecting our attention from the imbalanced lower chakras, root, sacral, solar, and activating the heart, the throat, the third eye to begin to form the structure of energy in the body that is necessary to cultivate a clear connection. Okay. And we're also going to be using earth and cosmic energy in order to insert into the body these very healing, regenerative reconnections with the earth. This cosmic energy that comes inside the body begins to rebalance the body, and cosmic energy combines with the earth energy to begin to run through the system to clear out the debris. Okay, so let's get into it. I want you all to get really nice and comfortable, and let's jump right in. Rachel says, that's what I've been feeling most lately, stagnation and resistance. Excellent. So now we know where our work is. The gift about the recognition of the emotions, and I want to tell you, on my YouTube channel, please feel free to follow if you are not aware. I do a lot of these workshops, so you guys can actually practice them with me. But I was talking the other day about stagnation and resistance. Okay, that's a very big theme right now. But as you begin to clear that out, it's amazing how new timelines become available to you for the healing. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. Go ahead and get nice and comfortable. If you can put your 2 feet on the ground, that would be even more amazing. That way that you can connect with the energy of the earth. Okay. Inhale deeply. Go ahead and visualize a bodysuit of energy around your body. And that bodysuit is going to be holding on to your shoulders, your waist, your hips, your pelvic bone. And you're going to anchor that energy all the way down to the center of the earth. Go ahead and connect. Pull that energy down into the center of the planet and just come into as much stillness as you can in this moment. And as you allow yourself to come into a state of absolute stillness, shift into the observer. Take a moment to feel the earth through your connection. Heighten your sensitivities enough to feel literally the rotation of the earth. See if you can pick up how that feels through your body. You're going to go ahead and build your energetic space. So go ahead and see a sphere around you, a bubble made of energy. And you're just going to tune into that bubble and make sure it's completely solid. No holes, no openings, no tears. Repair your field. When we have holes and tears, it's usually where our energy is leaking and strong emotions fears, anxieties, even illness. Okay, so go ahead and create this powerful, solid sphere around your body. And we're going to go deeper. Focus on the root chakra at the base of the spine, shrinking that chakra down to the size of the dime. We're going to control this beautiful center of energy so that we can redirect the attention to our intuition. Let's silence that static, that root chakra, which right now is probably just operating based on repetitive patterns of unconscious behavior. We're just going to gently redirect that. Go up into your sacral, shrink that chakra down to the size of a dime. Your solar, shrink that chakra down to the size of a dime. And just begin to notice how much more still and calm the body feels. Breathe down to the base of the spine. From the center of the earth, you're going to pull up a powerful wave of green life force that comes rushing up in through the base of the feet, in through the ankles, the shins, the calves, up your thighs, up into your solar plexus, creating a vortex of energy. Breathing, pull it up into the body. And as you feel that rotation, let the body heal, let the body restore. From source, we're going to pull down a powerful wave of cosmic energy that comes down through the crown of your head, down your spine, combining with the green earth energy. Create that beautiful vortex. Actually, you're not even creating it. You are using your own runways of energy. The energy is just moving along with your energy. Okay, you are the vortex. Go ahead and take 10% of that back down to the center of the earth. You're going to begin to heal Mother Earth, bringing that cosmic energy in through your body and back to the Mother Earth. So let the Mother Earth receive that healing energy. And at the same time, you're using that rush of energy to clear any kind of stagnation in your body. So all of those emotions that you guys have been feeling over the week, take a moment to bring yourself into a state of absolute neutral observation. Breathing. Take 80% of that combination up your spine and from the crown of your head, creating a fountain of energy, coating the outside of your sphere. Bring that final 10% into the body now, absorbing into the pores, the flesh, the muscles, the bones, into the cellular level of the body, transforming any heaviness, any death into life. You're going to go up into your crown. We're going to activate the 7th and the 8th chakra. Go ahead and expand it. Now these chakras, again, they're spheres, so allow yourself to expand them greater than the other bodies. This is your center of manifestation and co-creation. So now that you're here in this very open psychic state, and you are in the presence of these Lionsgate energies, allow yourself to see a color that represents your highest expression at this time, the highest octave frequency that you can hold, that your body needs in order to pull you into that next elevated state of awareness and perception. It's usually the first color that comes to mind. You're going to take that color and we're going to put it up into the 7th chakra and the 8th chakra. We're going to align with our higher self. The 7th is the connection to the higher self. The 8th is the connection to source. It's your relationship with source. So as you are here, I want you to fill your creative center with this color, aligning with the area of harmony, peace, abundance, health and vitality, money, sexual energy, your most creative life forces, and your purpose. Fill it in. I want you to shine that crown light on top of a room that you're going to see in front of you. Go ahead and visualize a room, see a room, imagine it. This room is going to be full of your karmic contracts. Everything that we have been repeating in cycles, not only you, but your generations, your ancestors. The things that need to end finally this year. Take a look at those contracts in front of you, and I want you to shine your contract, your crown light on top of them. And you're going to dissolve them, you're going to burn them up, transmute them, whatever feels easy for you to do. Clear them out. This is a very powerful practice. And once you clear them out, you're going to notice that you will feel lighter. It's almost as a weight has been lifted. And this will sustain as you continue your day. Whatever you removed from this room, I want you to pick that color that you put into your crown, and I want you to illuminate that room with that color. The intention is we're going to learn these lessons because that's what it takes for our evolution. But we are, in this moment, using our free will to learn them through our higher vision. Okay? So as your room becomes illuminated and you are grounded down to the center of the earth, go ahead and open the root chakra back up into a balanced state. The sacral chakra back up into a balanced state. The solar into a balanced state. You're going to gently close the heart just a little bit. If it's way too open, it's just out of balance. So we're going to bring it back a little bit. The throat, close it a little bit. And the third eye. Okay, but still quite open. So your body energetically looks like this. It was like this. Now it's like this. So we want to maintain this alignment. You've opened the channels now in order to receive. And your crown is active. So as your crown is active, go ahead and activate the 9th, the 10th, the 11th chakra, the 12th chakra, the 13th. And above you is a powerful source that you're going to bring through your body. Now, whenever you visualize a pillar of white light of this source connection down your body, this is when the body comes back into that alignment, not only with the earth, but with the higher systems of energy and information. So as you see yourself here having this powerful clearing, I want you to notice what is your intention for manifestation at this time? What is it that you need to manifest at this moment? Just tune into that. And I want you to receive, as you have these openings, whatever it is that you need at this time. Go ahead and allow that to settle in as you integrate. Let yourself receive and accept this awareness. And once you're ready, as you come back into the room, go ahead and open your eyes. Excellent. You guys did amazing. Welcome back. Well, if you guys want to share in this chat, or you know what you noticed that you need in order to manifest at this time, you can go ahead and share it. I'll be so happy to hear it. But yeah, Sheila, do we still have a little time?
That was wonderful. Yeah, we have about 10 minutes. Thank you so much. It's so important for us to realize uh, on a continuous basis, not just during the Lionsgate, but on a continuous basis, how important it is for us to ground in order to be able to open up. So many times we talk about trying to reach these higher states of consciousness, and a lot of times we forget that grounding aspect. And so, achieving this without this really can throw us into a turmoil. So thank you for, it's a beautiful practice. So guys, you can go back and watch it on the replay.
Yes, thank you so much for that. That's so important. And that's why we have to practice the embodiment of whatever wisdom we're learning. Like, are you the embodiment of that? Or are you just, thinking of these as abstract concepts? Yeah, so that's amazing. Thank you so much, Sheila.
Yeah. So does anyone else have any questions or comments? Sandra said she has an incredible lightness of her being.
Excellent.
That's beautiful.
Good to hear. And anybody want to share what their creative color was? What color did you find as your highest creative frequency? Remember that color is energy, so it's communicating to you. Susie.
I'm off mute, Susie.
Yeah, I just my color keeps coming in as purple, but I'm just so grateful. So many things have happened since I've seen you last, and it just feels like it's flowing, and I love you. I think it's so cool that you align us. I want to be more aligned. I'm working on it, but I just love you so much, Geraldine.
Thank you so much. It's great to see you too. It's been forever since I've even heard of you. It's been a long time. In the chat, we have Christopher with purple, Sandra with bright silvery white, Lilac with pinkish purple, Susie, always violet. Yes, excellent. And I want you guys to add a little bit of gold to that. And the reason why, gold is one of the most powerful healing frequencies. And so the color that you're using is actually shifting your body into a higher octave of operation. But when you enter the gold frequency, it helps heal any of that turmoil that needs to be, released of the past, and helps continuously integrate this color into your everyday. So use gold, add gold to whatever colors it's okay if it's more than one, and put that into your crown as a daily practice.
Beautiful. So speaking of a daily practice, is there one tip that you could give us that we could use every day to help us stay in this balanced alignment?
Yeah, so for me, it's all about cultivating presence and stillness. Okay, so that's a big thing that's been coming up for a lot of people. Can you cultivate stillness despite all the chaos that's happening in the world around you? So stillness is very powerful because a couple things happen when you practice, like, let's say, meditation techniques like vipassana. We grow gray matter in the brain, and eventually we grow it down the spine. Now, this is extremely important because remember that you're a bioelectrical system, and that means that you're a conduit of energy. The more you train your nervous system in a state of stillness, you are growing your energetic field, your energetic body, which allows you to process higher bands of frequency. And remember, as we're moving through these higher elevated states collectively, we're also accessing pretty low collective states as well. And it's necessary because we're learning how to navigate the shadow and the light. We have to learn how to hold space for both of those aspects of ourselves. And for those of you that only want to be in happy states or high states, it will immediately bring imbalance in your life. So we are learning how to hold higher strands of frequency, which is emotion in the body, and to alchemize those lower states into a higher state. And that requires a vessel that can create that transductive transmutational process by pulling out of those habits, because we are literally breaking habits, ancestral habits that are in our DNA that are being expressed through the triggers of our life. So as we begin to address those, you changed your energetic form, you changed your geometry as well into more symmetry, more harmony with nature and with yourself. So there's some major changes there. Cultivate stillness, cultivate that still observation, that observation state. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Beautiful. I was also going to ask you if you had any final words for us to remember on this auspicious Lionsgate.
Yeah, well, really, I mean, I think we covered the gist of it energetically, but as Sheila was saying, this is all the time. It is magnified now, and emotions can be magnified in these major cosmic, events. But be aware, practice awareness of your emotions. Be aware of your intentions. Do you know what your intentions are? Many times we don't realize our intentions. Sometimes our intentions are actually based in fear or survival. And those are the creative energies that input into this system. And then when we have, terrible things happen, we're kind of caught off guard and we don't understand how we ended up there. So your intention and the awareness of your intention, your connection with what your body is feeling, and the ability to discern in a way that is intuitively connected. Little by little, this is the cultivation of unity consciousness, because our decisions now begin to change from a self-serving perspective into what's good for the collective, what's good for this entire human race. And that's when we begin to move into this unified way of thinking and seeing and feeling, which is extremely healing energetically. And again, the body needs you, the earth needs you to evolve, and it's through the body that we do that. So yeah, that's the only thing I can leave you with. Thank you.
Beautiful. Well, Geraldine, thank you so much for being here. I sincerely appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to have you here on Cosmic Conversations. And so, everyone, you've been listening and watching Geraldine Orozco. So remember, check us out on all the replays. You can find us on 40 plus platforms through the Conscious Awakening Network. And until we are back together again, namaste, much love, and have a beautiful week, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.